Ivan Tukundane is my name. I'm here at Manifesto University. This is the political season, and here I'm with a politician who has served this university in these unprecedented times, and he is again choosing to come as the next year's non-president. Follow me on social media platforms: Facebook Tukundane Ivan and YouTube Tukundane Ivan for all the updates. Honorable Atukunda Ameria, you are welcome on the show. You have been serving as the GRC and you are not planning to come, you are coming back as the GRC non-resident. First, give us the genesis of how the previous term has gone for you.
I may say it wasn't easy for us because of the pandemic. Because as the School of Management, the GRCs, I'm the executive, I'm the deputy secretary. We had a challenge of, we had a work plan and the time limit when you're supposed to work on this, what you're going to do. But that was affected by the pandemic. Remember, we were in a lockdown for 2 years after us being mandated. So that was a big challenge, but I thank God we've tried to work on some issues. Like on our work plan, we had CESA, that is the Environmental Association, and the School of Management, and we would like it to be for the whole of Chambogo, and I'm very glad it is working well. Another thing, we also have a hanging requisition, because the first sitting we had with our dean of students, with our dean of our faculty, he promised us that we are going to be having two mark entries for every department, because as the School of Management, for us we've been branded as a school of missing mark. And as the house, we presented this on his table to show him that at least if every department has 2 mark entries, we can be able to cover that big number of missing marks.
To what extent have you implemented your manifesto?
To what extent? I can say 75. If that requisition passes through, I can put it 100.
Oh, you are talking to students who voted you and they have been monitoring you. So, hope you are speaking from an informed point of view.
Yes.
Thank you very much. During COVID, students were advised to go back home for a long period of time. However, some activities at university continued. There are some students who hung around, were around. Which program in your capacity with the president and the entire house, what program did you bring for students as they can be helped out? Because we are in very unprecedented times that called for help.
Yeah. All thanks to the guild president, the 17th guild house, that is Mazira, because there was a program with Kanwati, that is the government.
Honorable Kanwati.
Yeah, Honorable Kanwati. They had a program of supporting the students, the international students who stayed in the halls, and I'm glad those guys were helped much. To talk as a person, I remember in that lockdown it's when we got our first salary, and a second salary. And that very day I had like 5 calls. Honorable, you've received your allowance, you've received our, we are here in Uganda, we are suffering. And I think out of 200, I had a balance of 120. The rest I would send for the students to go and buy portion.
So, Honorable, given the political environment in Uganda, and particularly here at Chambogo University, what prompts you to engage in politics? Because politics, many of them say politics is a dirty game. But your agenda, you have come out to be outstanding in now politics of different institutions and the country. What makes you feel that you can defeat in this politics of this university?
Yeah, politics, it is taken to be a dirty game. That is when you decide to make it a dirty game. To me, politics is not a dirty game on my side, because I prayed with positive measures. Number one, before you come out, remember we have different leadership styles, or how someone can be a leader. Through charisma, maybe people are seeing you participating, you're helping, you're serving even when you're not a leader. You get the point? Because I think that is one thing that made me come as a GRS. Like I wanted mandates, I wanted powers. Yes, people took me to be a leader through the charism, because I would help them, I would guide them. But then I never had powers, like I never had a region to exercise my powers. So that's why I decided, at least if I can come for GRC School of Management, that I can be able to put my efforts and be at service for very many people.
So, Honorable, what are you planning to do for the students? Because you have told me that you have implemented your manifesto 70%. At this juncture, what are the objectives of changing the post from representing School of Management to representing non-resident students?
Right now, my manifesto is based on 3 pillars. I have security, teamwork, and accountability. Under security, I've managed to come up with this strategy to make sure that all student hostels are registered under the Office of Dean of Students. And you know what? When the hostels are registered under the Office of Dean of Students, we can be like that. The university can be able to set a certain price or a certain hostel fee of different hostels. Now, for example, in this year, because of the pandemic, we have 3 semesters. They are now 3 terms, not semesters. We now have 3 terms in a year. But you may find that most of the hostels have not considered the fact that now the semester is for 3 months, not for 4 months. Not pulling down their hostel bills.
So you raised a very pertinent issue. I was speaking with some students in Banda, and they told me that hostels are charging exorbitant prices. So as a non-resident leader, I think that one should be your point of interest now.
Yeah, because I've already talked about the having 3 terms in a semester and not the hostel custodians considering it as a big factor. Then another thing, when I talk about the accountability, at least I want to be held accountable of the rights of non-residents. I'm a non-resident, and I would call upon all the non-residents to help me to have a hand in this so that we can secure our rights. For example, you get to know that Chambogo University has to be having only 2 non-residents. And when you're to see the ground or the environment or the parameters that 2 non-residents are supposed to cover, it's a very big coverage, and it would be very hard for those 2 non-residents to serve at that parameters. But then what a strategy that would bring on that pillar is I'll make sure that at least each hostel has a committee. And when a hostel has a committee, a committee can be able to bargain on behalf of the students, can enter into an agreement or in a bargaining exercise with the custodian. For example, maybe the custodian or the hostel holder is increasing the hostel fees. Maybe the committee can be in a position of wanting to know, why are you increasing? Why are you increasing from this amount to this amount? And maybe, let me give you an example of maybe a hostel can be like, we are increasing to this amount so that you guys, we can get you a shuttle.
So, if I can come in here, what makes you think you are better than your opponents? Because I've seen your hostels being highly contested for about 7 people contesting for the same post. What makes you think you are the best?
Yeah, I will not despise anyone, because I trust the person. If a person decides to come on a certain post or on a certain position, he trusts in himself. He has trust in
him or herself.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes. Yes.
So I won't say I'm the best of all, but what I know, when I'm put into power, when I'm given that mandate support I want, I can do my level best, and I can be in a position to secure the rights of all non-residents.
What strategic calculation are you putting forward whenever the university introduces in draconian policies about non-residents? Policies that do not favor students.
Already in my manifesto, I have teamwork. Teamwork, we already have committees. You get the point. So in case the university is bringing in a policy that is not favoring us, the non-residents, those are the teams that are going to be guiding us, that are going to be helping us be able to sit with the people that are bringing out that policy, so that we can talk. How did you come up with this, and how is it going to help us as non-residents? And of course, we are students. We can be able to point out the difficulties or the challenges we might face with the policy they are bringing out.
So, Honorable, I know time is not always our best ally, and as we wind up, give me your parting shots to students, at the administration, and to whoever is watching out there. What you think they should do, and why they should choose you for that particular position.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ivan. What I would say to my fellow students, because are the non-residents, is I only ask for your support, believe in me, and I believe in myself that I can do better. I'm in a good position to fight for our rights and to protect them. Otherwise, thank you very much for listening, and have a good day.
Thank you very much. I have been with Kunda and made a very enthusiastic, strategic, and a very confident lady who is contesting as non-resident GRC, Chambogo University. I continue to engage my audience for us. Follow on my Facebook page, Kunda Ivan, and on my YouTube channel for more details and for more political conversation with different politicians here in Chambogo University. Stay tuned on all our social media platforms. Wish you all the best. Next time, same host. Wish you all the best.